video number 4 in our fundamental conducting series. In this video, we're going to talk about the basic patterns and the basic ways that you can incorporate these patterns into the fundamental skills that we talked about in the previous 3 videos. So let's start by reviewing what we talked about. So we have our basic conductive posture. We have the wrist flick that's motivated by stoppage of the forearm. Finally, we have our rebound, 80% elbow, 20% shoulder, right? So right now, you should be able to go in a mirror, take some videos of yourself, whatever you have access to, and check out the way that you're executing these fundamentals just by flicking on the ictus. No patterns yet, right? That's where you should be. So if you're not there yet, go back, check out those videos, do some more practicing and get there and get those skills up to par, and then check this guy out. Okay, so the first pattern that we're going to talk about is 4-4, and everything kind of grows out of this pattern, right? So here is our 4-4 pattern. I'm going to draw it for you. We have this sort of arrow shape, and I'll call this style fixed point, right? This will be our fixed point pattern. And you'll hear me say that a lot, these terms. Fixed point. And the reason it's called fixed point is because each beat occurs on one fixed point, right? So this is where all 4 beats are going to occur. And then the ands of the beats will be here, 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 and here, right? So and. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm just going to trace through it with my right hand only without any wrist flick. And this is a good way that you can practice and sort of just get a feel for what the pattern is going to feel like, and then put the wrist flick with it later, right? So here is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and of 1. 2 and comes in towards the center of your body. 3 and goes out here. And then 4 and. Then we're back down to 1, back to where we started. So we go in, out, up. And the reason that I like this style of conducting so much to be your fundamental basic pattern is because it's consistent and it's based in straight lines. And this goes hand in hand with what we talked about with the basketball last time, where the basketball approaches the ictus, gains speed, goes back up, and decreases. So each time that you're coming down towards the ictus here, you can think about gaining speed, slowing down, gaining speed, slowing down, gaining, and so forth, and just repeat it over and over again. It's very consistent, and the and of each beat is very visible too. So that is our 4-4 pattern, and it's very important that you understand this so we can talk about other patterns, okay? So now, this is 4-4. Let's do 3-4. It's gonna look really, really similar. Here's our 3-4 pattern. All we're doing is taking away, draw it again so you can actually see it. All we're doing is taking away the and. So we're gonna go 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. Super simple, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. And it's really the same thing as 4-4 without the and, without the and rather. The hardest thing about 3-4 is that we're going to be tempted to have a little bit more of a hitch on the outside. And if you want to hear about a hitch, go back and check out the video on the rebound. But the hitch can tend to appear right here on that and of 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. It's super easy to have that happen, so watch out for that one. Okay, so we've done 4, 3, 2. Now let's talk about, I'm sorry, we haven't done 2. We're about to do it. Here we go. 4, 3. Now here is our 2-4 pattern. 2-4. It's going to look the same, but it's actually going to be a little bit different. Both beats occur right here, but this will instead be the and of 1. So for 2-4, we're going to go straight out. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1. And the difficult thing about 2-4 is that it's going to be tempting to get turned around and go 1 and 2 and 1. That's correct. Here's incorrect. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. That was wrong because I flipped the beats. You have to make sure it's always down for beat 1, back in for whatever other beats you have, whether it's in 2, 3, or 4. So these are our 3 fixed point patterns. And if you can conduct these in sequence, it'll give you a very consistent base that we can grow everything else off of, right? These are our 3 basic patterns. So let's talk about some exercises that you can do to practice these, right? So we're gonna do these at slower tempos, generally 132 or lower, and this will help build our fundamental skills. So maybe put the MET on 120 and try conducting what I like to call the ladder exercise. I'll write it down for you right here. Let me erase these guys. The ladder exercise. And what's great about the ladder is that it trains your brain to think and execute at the same time. I really need to get a new marker. Ladder exercise. Okay, so we're going to do 4-4 times 2. Conduct that one twice. 3-4 times 2. Twice again. 2-4 times 1. And that 2-4 bar, the reason that we do it once is so it trains your brain to say, oh wait, I got something coming up that I have to be thinking about, right? So do that, go down that ladder. Man, new marker's coming. Do that, go down that ladder, and then come back up. Right? So 4-4 twice, 3-4 twice, 2-4. And then if you want to, you can repeat 2-4, 3-4 twice, 4-4 twice. And you can just keep doing that on a loop in a mirror with the metronome and check yourself out. That's the best way to hammer these 3 basic patterns into your brain and get ready to move on to more difficult stuff. So in our next video, we're going to talk about some fundamental errors and some things to look out for in your practice that can help to steer you in the right direction if you get a little bit off. So we've totally covered the fundamental things that you need to know to be a drum major. Check out the errors in the next video, and then we'll talk some more in our series 2 about some more advanced concepts. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.